Hello and welcome to Kendall Ice Arena for Game 2 of our Friday doubleheader here on senior night between the Florida Miami Hurricanes Division III squad and the Florida Gators. Ryan Lee here alongside with Connor Stein the entire way through. Thank you so much for joining us all weekend long for the senior weekend quadruple header, the regular season finale. And for the Gators, they've been in good form as of late. However, they dropped their last two versus FAU. That was just up the road over in Boca, putting the Gators at 500 flat, 7-7-0. However, with the Gators, they clinched a spot in the CHS Division III playoffs after winning against UCF earlier in January. University of Miami, they currently hold the final spot in the Division III playoffs, as there are 5 in the Southern Division of College Hockey Style D3. FAU, Florida State, Florida Tech, and these Gators have all clinched a playoff spot. One final slot is on the line. Miami currently holds it. USF is the last team out. Embry-Riddle ties USF in points. Both the Embry-Riddle Eagles and the USF Bulls have opportunities to potentially catch up. As we go through our starting lineups for this Division III game, a couple of the guys are staying put from the D2 side that got a chance to see the Florida Southern Mocs tied at 8 across. Miles Hartung played a couple of shifts in there. Owen Gupta is also part of this D3 squad, and he will also be doing some double duty as well. The Florida Gators are fresh off the bus here at Kendall Ice Arena. We'll take a quick break for the national anthem. We'll be back with Puck Drop. Starting netminders for the Gators and the Hurricanes, Jamie Brooks is in net for the Miami Hurricanes. The sophomore from Newburyport, Massachusetts, has 10 starts in D3. 2.6-2 is where he lies. 869 save percentage, 4.2 goals against average. He won his last Division III starts in that 10-2 win against North Florida. He's coming off a back-to-back wins, having played both games of that series against the UNF Ospreys. And on the other end, in the black and blue, David Stenzel, third season goaltender from Gainesville. 13 starts on the season where he is 6-7. 864 save percentage, 3.8 goals against. He lost and allowed 7 goals in Boca Raton against FAU a week ago from tomorrow. Miami in the white, they'll work right to left, while UF are in the black. They'll go from left to right as the wraparound attempt couldn't get tucked in by the Gators early, as they wanted to go for a early goal that would have been devastating for the Canes because they let one up early in their game versus Florida Southern, as the clearing attempt is prevented. as Nick Renton could not contain possession, so Siegerman gives it a go, but it went off of a stick. Poked out by Ferentz, as Ferentz and the rest of the Gators try to make it work. Ferentz enters, but he's cut off by Hartung. Back towards center, Siegerman. A chance for potential 2-on-1. John Joyce with Siegerman. Joyce poked from behind as it's disrupted by Nick Renton. That one went off of a skate, and Siegerman is the only one in the corner with Michael Nas. He had some miscommunication with Nas, as neither of them went for that loose puck, so Leahy will dump it and allow the Gators to change. Miami will do the same. A very different lineup than what the Gators fielded last time, having 8 guys who are new to the team play on that game on the first, as Brooks makes his first save off of the range shot from Mistro. A quick couple of deflections allows Owen Gupta to find the space. Gupta has a man in front. Jonathan Nas couldn't get it behind Stenzel. Second chance in between Stenzel's legs, swallows it up for the first big save for the third season goalie for UF.
Eight, 18:30 left to go.
Attempted tip by Berman, couldn't make its way through. Stenzel got a touch. 2-on-2 into the corner, minute and a half into the game. Florida coming off of back-to-back losses. Miami coming off a back-to-back win. Stripped at center. Backhanded by the D3 captain, Chris Michelini. And Michelini works this one all the way back. Attempting to go for the nearest man there was Francesco Anzaldi, but it goes into the Miami bench for a neutral zone face-off 2 minutes in. And for D3, those 8 players who played their lone game of the season last week, a lot of those guys were D1 crossovers, or what the UF staff mentioned were a couple of guys who tend to cross over between some guys who are more practice squad guys, some guys in the Division I team for UF, very similar to what the D2 team did. They got promoted after winning the national final in D3, beating none other than the FAU Owls in the Division II AAU Nationals last year.
Yeah, we talk about 2 national champions right here, right?
Miami won D3, Florida won D2. However, that D2 squad got promoted to D1. They added a D3 team. Miami did the same, but their team got promoted to D2. John Joyce spins it around for Anzaldi near side. Anzaldi lets that one go, but instead went for the fake to Skinger and didn't quite get its way through, so it's a chance to flip it up for the captain, Xavier Morris. Morris from a wide angle, bobbling puck, chopped down by Berman. Distance try, Junga easily steered out by Brooks. Reed Roach works into the corner where Junga keeps it in. Anzaldi eventually gets it out after the scrum, so it'll be back for Bodie Duncan and Junga at center. Substitutions across the board as it goes behind the back of Santarlis. Santarlis can't get it through as Hartung tries to get it free. Pinned along the boards, Winch. Jonathan Nas. What an excellent weekend he had last week versus UNF. Can't make anything work as it's swept around by Bodie Duncan. Hartung tries to step into a check. Turned around, out of range for Gupta. Winch from deep, steered out Brooks. And the referee had his arms up for a while, so it's offside by a mile for UF.
That's a delayed offside by half. That puck is way in the corner, and they gone offside, so this one will come just outside that blue line. 6 minutes off the board. Very different start from the Division II game we just witnessed, Ryan. The 3 goals within the first 4 minutes of that one, but quiet start here.
Jonathan Nas handling his way across the line, but cannot hold on as Zolmansky spins it across for Michael Nas. Rory Dawson one of the two seniors on this D3 squad, him and Miles Hartung, predominantly as the D3 guys from this senior class, both first years in this program as well, as the Gators try to keep it in deep. Poked off of Gupta, back up top Mistro. A quick flub there and a chance for Gupta to turn the engines. Backhander, Jonathan Nas awaits as the rest of the Canes were finishing their changes and he just elects to retreat. Nas can't get past the man, so it's back for Nick Mistro and it's a cross for Ferentz. Ferentz, an option, in front, scores! Ferentz with the tip-in from Mistro, his first point in college hockey, and Mistro puts the Gators up top.
That was a beautiful little give and go we saw there from Ferris. Oh, that's not the right replay, but Mistro was able to put it back in the net. Great job by Ferris to find the feed right in front. We saw this happen a lot in the last game, actually, for the Mocs, and Florida able to do it, and now it's 1-0 Gators.
So a couple of early goals conceded by both the D2 and D3 sides. The backhand goes for Bartlett. Bartlett leaves it behind, so it's held on by Leahy. Hugh Leahy able to find some room for Mistro. Back for Leahy. Across it goes Riley. Riley holds, lets it go. Deflected off of Siegerman. Mistro keeps it in. So they'll actually give credit to Hugh Leahy. That's his 5th goal of the year. As it gets poked along into the corner, Siegerman escorts it out. Miami a change. Shot in deep from Tepper. Anzaldi overskated. Stuck into the corner. Jin Wen Zhang able to get it free, but it comes back towards center. That one got stuck into the Miami bench as Jonathan Nas was ready to make the change. So it'll be a neutral zone faceoff. .610 deep in this first period. And Hugh Leahy gets his 5th goal of the season. And he's had some experience, does Leahy, because he's had some games with the D1 side as well, predominantly being with his D3 squad for a combined 12 games between the two sides. Jonathan Nas with the assistance from Gupta, but cannot hold on as that deflection off the glove stays in play. Berman. No one there except for Dylan Morton, one of the alternate captains on this Florida side. Nas winds up, goes off of a leg. That's Junga. Hartung unable to keep it in, but Berman and Gupta keep it in deep. Dawson, the one-man back with Hartung. The senior defenseman in tandem. Gupta couldn't get the touch for a skate, but he does get it enough to prevent icing, so Miami can get some fresh bodies out. Tristan Junga tries to skate across, cut off by John Joyce. Still there for the Gators. And the long frame of Miles Hartung, he tries to slide through. We've seen Hartung step into the play numerous times. Could not finish the move. Wang at center with Roach. Stripped by Dawson. Potential 3-on-2 here for the Canes. Dawson has Nas, but instead goes for Stenzel. Wang and Roach tried to let Morris loose, but it's Michael Nas. A little bit out of range of Skinger. Icing against the Canes. And this will come back towards the UM end.
So far, Miami, neither team really establishing a lot of offensive presence, but Florida's still with that 1-goal advantage, so Miami's got to start chipping in now. A
long consecutive road stretch for the Gators. This is their 5th. Tomorrow against these same Canes will be their 6th road game in a row as they try to feed it up in front. A couple of hacks, no one able to get it loose, but it dropped down for Duncan. Wide angle off of Brooks. Second chance, Brooks will smother.
Great job by Brooks there to cover, but we kind of talked about the playoff implications for this game. Miami just needing a win here, and they pretty much solidify themselves, I believe, as Florida wins this one back.
Gators keep it in with Winch, and eventually poked out by the Canes. Is it enough for icing, or does Stenzel have to intervene? It is Stenzel. Winch sends it across. He's got a man, tries to cut inside. No one able to get it. Zelmansky from an angle, can't get it through. Duncan from range, took a body. That's Michelini in front. And Michelini will take it himself. Stenzel with the kick out. Florida stuck in their own end. They're trying to escape. Bodie Duncan. Back around for Aiden Riley. Riley and Duncan escort this one out for Leahy, the lone goal scorer in the game, as we approach 9 minutes deep. Poked up by Berman. Stenzel with cover with Siegerman approaching. Face off back in the UF end. And with Miami, they're coming off of a hot note, to say the least, because that 2-game series versus UNF, that was their first 2-game sweep of an opponent all season long for this D3 side, and that most certainly can create some momentum, especially with a playoff spot that they currently hold and most certainly do not want to lose, with the Gators having already clinched their spot just down the turnpike in Coral Gables, as a fight at center for Ferentz, able to get it free for Bartlett. Bartlett poked by Hartung, recovered by Gupta. Berman gets sat down by the shoulder of Aiden Riley. Ferentz has Nas draped all over him. Mistros supports. Jonathan Nas from his brother Michael. He's 1v2. He tries to get it free. Miami gets fresh bodies out, but it's spun around for Mistro. Ferentz at center. Skinger the disruption. However, Joyce falls down, but Skinger follows. At the UF bench, no one able to get a clean possession out, and eventually the Gators will. Junga with Michelini in front. Michelini and Hartung meet behind the net. Junga from an angle, had some bodies in front. It's sent down, and this will be another icing against Miami.
Florida appearing to be the more offensive dominant team so far. Miami a little bit gassed. They do have a couple guys that came over from that game just about 30 minutes ago, I would say. That was a OT thriller. But Miles Hartung participating in senior night, as well as Jonathan Noss. He's not a senior, but he was in that game, so some guys laboring from that.
Sent up in front, but it was cut off by Hartung. Skinger escorts it out. Nas tried to provide a little scrap, but all he did was buy room for his teammates to clear. Zhang. Bank it for Brooks. Michelini looking to escape. Jingwen Zhang. Chris Michelini, 1v3, dump and chase the other way. Michelini will sub out as Morton will hold on with Tepper alongside. Zhang. Zhang cuts across. He's got Rosenthal. Zhang, Rosenthal, but couldn't get it on the backhand. Dawson eventually gets it out. But the only man back is a Florida Gator, and it is Nick Renton. Up in front, a feed, and can't be corralled by the Captain Morris as he popped a tire right before the release. Renton. Duncan. Hartung chasing Duncan now as he leaves it behind for Morris. In front, wants a deflection, but only white jerseys in front. Now a chance for Miles Hartung to reverse. Hartung cuts across. Nice little move there, only by space. Not enough for a shot opportunity, however. Siegerman in front wants to go for Dawson. Hartung, backhander, wide of the net. Siegerman again, pops up in the air, and all alone it goes for the Gators. Wang. Jonathan Wang on the ice, played his first game last Saturday against FIU for the first year winger, and it's going to be played all the way back in the UMNs. Seven minutes remain in the first period. One goal in the first from Hugh Leahy with the assist from Owen Ferentz that came just under 5 minutes into the first. Anzaldi can't win the race as Michelini hemmed into the wall. Up top, Riley drops it. Mistro to Riley, took a deflection wide. Side of the net, Brooks will use the blocker to hold on, and for Miami, not only trying to hold on to a playoff spot, but against a team that already clinched last week in their win 3-2 versus USF late into January. This is a real test for Miami because not only are they fighting for their lives, similar to the D2 squad, but the difference between the D2 squad and the D3 squad is Florida already made it. Florida Southern were desperate to get in as well.
Yeah, Florida's obviously very comfortable being in the spot that they are, but Florida Southern, for when they were playing the D3 team, there's a shot right in front.
Scramble in front, no one able to get it loose. Brooks got the first stop, still in front of Brooks. Couple of bodies collide. It might be under one of them, and eventually whistle goes with Michelini, and I believe that's Owen Ferentz. That's Jacobs and Tarlis, however. They were both down on their sides, and the puck was under them, so they froze it.
Yeah, to finish my point, though, Florida obviously comfortable, but this is a very talented team that Miami's facing, especially in order to clinch a playoff spot. We've seen early here, they're not, comfortable with just being, oh yeah, we're just in the playoffs. They obviously want to fight for a lot more of a secure of a spot, so we'll see how this one plays out.
Wide angle try, stuck in Brooks. Riley, second try, took a stick in front. That was Owen Gupta with the block and poked out by Skinger. Hartung and Gupta try to work it. Ferentz sends it deep. With 6 minutes remaining in the first period, Michael Nas unable to escape as he got held on by a couple of Gators, but not enough for a penalty or enough for anything to go, really. All it goes is for Miami clear. Berman chases after Riley. Ferentz retrieves it at center. Bartlett. Bartlett leaves it. Second try, high and wide, given by Leahy. Couldn't get number two as Shunga keeps it in. Across attempted, Berman with the obstacle. Nas, two-hand shove from behind. Berman keeps it in play for Sharaburiak to step up. Jonathan Nas streaks in, holds possession for the Canes. However, Bartlett trickles right to him. And he starts the rush with UF making changes. Michelini pins Bartlett to the boards. And who will escape with possession? Comes in front, Anzaldi. Pokes it back with Morton keeping it in. Tristan Junga steps up tight. Wants the feed up in front, but couldn't hit Zhang. Still alive for the Gators as it's carried in by Tepper. Zhang. Zhang and Berman scrap in the corner. Berman eventually gets it and out off of the skip on Junga's stick. Anzaldi brings it up for Skinger. He's got Nas to center, but that was stick on stick. Couldn't get the follow through. Hartung couldn't get it through, so it's gonna be Rosenthal. He'll hang on as he waits reinforcements. Anzaldi, Rosenthal kept it in. And eventually poked out as it just skims off the stick of Zhang. A chance to come back, Junga and Joyce. Zhang had skins all over him, so Joyce with the interception. Distance try for Stenzel. A quick bank allows Miami to chop it at center so Rory Dawson can pivot. Another dump and chase here for Miami. They've been doing a lot of that both in the D2 and the D3 game. A lot of dump and chase. However, for Miami, they're working with a much shorter bench than UF is in this D3 side. So
UF definitely has a lot more depth in this one, and we saw that have a big impact in our last game.
I was going to say it just complicates things, if anything, for Miami, as the kick cut attempt can't be made by Kelly Bartlett. Gupta slaps it down. Siegerman presses the gas. Siegerman in front. Dawson can't corral. Second try wide of Stenzel's net. No one able to poke it in as Hartung steps up on his man. Puck loose back to center. Anzaldi goes deep. Siegerman offside, has to retreat. Florida can take their time as Miami was offside. They will change. Miami will not. Winch, deep. Gupta leaves it for Berman with 2 1/4 in a 1-0 Florida lead game. Aiden Riley tries to get away from Jonathan Nas as Berman can't get past Renton. Renton, wide angle, and snagged by Brooks with 2 to go in the first.
We finally get a whistle here. That was a lot of continuous play, I'd say about 2 minutes straight of just constant play, and Raton kind of comes in, and Jamie Brooks able to make the glove save. No harm done, and the Gators still lead by 1.
Draw in the UMN. No one can get it free. Eventually, Sharaburiak gives it a poke. Michelini fights for it, but it's in tight for Florida. First chance saved by Brooks. Second chance on the doorstep. No one can bury. Sharaburiak provides some breathing room as he sends it off for Siegerman. Dylan Siegerman tries to get towards Stenzel, but he was thwarted by Riley. Siegerman continues as Santarlis swings it around. Mistro. Michelini can't keep, so Hartung's back.
Minute 15 left to go in this first period.
It's just been a lot of dump and chase for both sides, as no one is really able to really provide a sustainable possession because they're just slapping it down even with a minute left.
Yeah, I would say it's just a lack of energy. Like, ever since I'd say the 10-minute mark hit, it just neither team really showing a whole lot of energy. I just think one team needs one goal to kind of get going.
In front, can't get the feed. Riley keeps it in play. Gupta almost sprang loose. A hold across. Brooks save. Slapped into the corner with half a minute left. Bartlett with Hartung on him. Sent in front. Wanted the poke in for Leahy. Leahy couldn't get 2, but UF are still on it as it goes into the corner for Kelly Bartlett. Bartlett. Leahy. Riley holds, fires, saved by Brooks. Wind up, hesitation, second try. Brooks again with just the toe. Across is out of the zone. Is it enough for icing? It will be. Will it be before the period ends? It will be. 2.6.
That's one of those good, I feel like a good icing, I would say. Florida, had great offensive pressure, and great job by Miles Hartung to get the stick in the passing lane. But, I mean, regardless, Miami's just got to clear this one out. And going into a period with 1 goal lead is not horrible.
As the face-off goes back to center ice, that'll be it for the first period of play. 1 goal in the books. Hugh Leahy from Owen Ferrand. And you mentioned how maybe the fatigue is starting to settle in, and that, of course, is going to play a factor with a 10:20 p.m. Eastern puck drop.
Yeah, no, a lot of these guys are just a little bit sluggish. I mean, some of them go to bed at this time maybe, so they got to just get a little bit of fire under their feet a little bit. You know, Florida had the road trip, you know, things like that. Miami had multiple players play this game. They are also coming from campus, so it's about 30-minute drive plus everything else. So, you know, maybe we'll see a more energetic second period, but so far, I mean, not a bad period for Miami at all, though. Only allowing one goal in the first couple minutes, or in the middle part of the game. So, you know, Miami's just got to keep staying ahead, and maybe a little bit more offensive opportunities would help.
1-0, the Gators lead after one. More coverage from the University of Miami men's hockey team when we come back here on Senior Day, and we want to take the opportunity to not only thank you for joining us the entire way through, but also thank you to Wells Fargo Advisors, the first ever sponsor of the University of Miami Hockey Network. For your financial needs, go to Wells Fargo Advisors. And support your University of Miami Hurricanes hockey on Venmo with a QR code. Scan now. Or if you cannot do so, feel free to support everywhere else on social media. Follow us on all your social media platforms, including right here on YouTube. Like, comment, subscribe. Every little bit helps. 1-0 Gators after the first period. More coverage from Senior Day at Kendall when we return.
He has scored 4 goals, including 3 goals last season. He's joined tonight on the ice by his number 7. A business agent from Needham, Massachusetts, number 66, Miles Hartel. The next senior has been a 3-year member of the program. He always finds himself near the top of the scoring sheet. Currently second on the team in goals and points with 12 and 19% of them. In the words of Coach Tom, he is well respected by everyone on the ice, except maybe the officials that he trips during the game. Joined by his mother Nancy, father Tom, sisters Natalie and Olivia. He's a finance and business administration major from Massachusetts, number 59, Frank. The next senior has been a member of the Hurricanes for all 4 years of his collegiate career. While he's a natural defenseman, he has played any position as a defender. He plays top minutes as offensive on special teams. He is a quiet leader, although I agree he is not very fond of sharing his presence on road trips. Joined by his mother Amy and father David, a finance major from Quincy, Massachusetts. And finally, most certainly not least, this senior has been in the program for 3.5 years. Coach Tom knew right away that he had a project on his hands. In the early days of the team, he spent a little bit more time hanging out on the ice. Maybe that's where he got the nickname Max. But through hard work, he has become a more disciplined defenseman, and he is the top defenseman on the team. Named team captain just minutes after winning the national title last season. He is a leader on and off the ice. He's joined by his mother, father Jay, brother Seth, and a county neighbor from Glenwood, Colorado. Ladies and gentlemen,
Back here at Kendall Ice Arena, Florida Gators lead the Miami Hurricanes 1-0 after the first period. Hugh Leahy with his 5th goal of the season with the helper from Owen Ferentz. And Ferentz has been in excellent form, 3rd star of the month of January. Continues to have the offensive production that gave him that award in the first place. And for UF, they want to turn the tide after losing their last 2 in their 5th straight road game. They're 1-3 in the last 4, all of them on the road. Miami have won their last 2. They would look to do nothing more than to extend that streak to 3. Miami holds the final spot in the College Hockey South Division III playoffs. Miami holds the final spot. Doesn't mean they'll keep it because they have USF and Embry-Riddle right on their tails. Miami will start the 2nd period. They're still in the white, so they'll go left to right. And the Gators of Florida, they'll be in the black and blues. They'll go from right to left in period number 2. And Connor, right before we start this 2nd period of play, just kind of final thoughts before we start the middle frame.
Miami's got to make it seem like they want the playoffs a lot more in this period than they did in the last. A lot more energy. And I suspect we will see a lot of energy, despite this being a 10:30 puck drop. But they will get started right here at neutral ice. Berman wins that one back for Hartung. The Canes going left to right, while the Gators in all black going right to left. Heavy on the pressure early, the Gators. Jonathan Now's able to tip it up, but it's chipped away. Battle at the blue line. Taken away there by Noss. He's got Gupta. It's chipped away by the Gators and sent back down for the Canes. Back at neutral ice now. Duncan goes down with Shara Burek. Hard hit. Shara Burek gets that one free. The Gators with a quick shot. That one goes just wide. Duncan in the corner for Florida. Back down low for Fency. Duncan to Fency. Back up top. Quick shot. Another quick shot. And a good save by Jamie Brooks.
We've seen this quite a bit from Florida in that first period. They love to work behind the net, and they want to try to create opportunities from there, whether that be cycling it back into the point. That time they wanted to really feed the slot. Working behind the net has been something UF has been really attempting to do all game long. You saw it back there with the back and forth with Ferentz, but it provides an opportunity, and Jamie Brooks was able to read it.
Michael Noss with the puck now, trying to extend it off the boards. He gets it up to Seagerman. It's taken away, though, by the Gators. There's a quick shot. It's in! Zhang there with the goal for the Gators. That one kind of tipped right in front of a couple bodies, and it finds its way in the back of the net. Florida takes a 2-0 lead with 18:56 left to go. Yeah,
very different from this Miami squad that has a lot of first-year, second-year guys on the roster. Jingwen Zhang, he's a second-year player. He's got experience, 27 games across 2 seasons with the Florida Gators. Putting that to use, able to find it in the low slot, just pokes it into the 5-hole of Brooks.
His 2nd of the year for the Gators, as they're already quick back on the attack. In the low circle, Zhang right across, they score! My, oh my, the Gators are starting out fast. And they take a 3-0 lead just seconds after their last goal. That was Jack Temper, his 3rd of the year.
Yeah, and with Tepper, it's basically the same thing, just able to find an opportunity in the low slot. He was a little more leaning towards the post, which is how he was just able to narrowly slide it inside the post. But for maybe it's fatigue, maybe it's the shorter bench, I'm not sure, but that low slot, already 2 goals in the first 1:30, a little under that.
Not the energetic start I was looking for from Miami, as this one goes all the way down the ice for an icing.
And that last goal, the second one there from Jack Tepper, that was actually coming off of an offensive zone face-off, because right after the goal, Brooks was able to get a save on that. So we've seen a lot of these in both the D2 and the D3 game. The D2 game especially, we've seen a lot of goals come from maybe those set plays off of the face-off or just chaos in front of the net just right after offensive zone possessions.
We see why offensive faceoffs are so important to win as Temper gets some speed in neutral ice. He finds Jing down in the lower circle. He's pushed aside there by Miles Hartung, the senior. That one sprung free there for Jonathan Noss, and he's got numbers. He flicks it up for Michelini. Michelini tied up with the Gator. It's battle at the blue line now for Miles Hartung. He swings it all the way around. It's in the corner now. Jonathan Noss working with Skinger. Skinger, quick inside, quick shot goes just off the near post. Another distance try, it's off the side. Another try by Noss, and a great pad save there by Stenzel. This one's all the way down the ice once again for an icing as Miles Hartung was able to beat it out.
Those minor execution errors so far in the first 22 and a half minutes of play have really been something that Miami, in games past, they've been able to live with it. But against a playoff team like Florida, you're not going to get away with some of those execution errors. Maybe passes that are just out of reach and go back for an icing, or shots that miss the net entirely. Against a playoff team, that's not going to fly. Anyone else, it would, but not against a team like UF.
We know this talented team. This is a very talented UF squad as Miami tries to go back and come back down 3. Mayhem in front as the Gators are able to pick it up. One there by Morris, the captain for this Gator squad, and Noss is able to pick it up at neutral ice. He's stripped there by Roach. Roach now makes a good move, and it's sticked aside there by Noss with help from Skinger. Siegerman now at neutral ice. He tries to get around Jugga. The Gators come up with some speed. He finds Winch. Winch gets it across. No one home, though, for Siegerman. And Siegerman gets up to Gupta. Gupta does a backhand no look, and it's to the Gators right back. Winch gets over to Noss, but Noss can't corral it correctly. It's behind the net now once again for the Gators. And it's sprung free for the Canes. Gupta over to Siegerman, up to Noss. Noss tries to split the D, can't do so, and it's deflected once again for Florida. Miles Hartung behind Jamie Brooks' net. Oh, a little turnover behind the net. Mayhem in front, and it's one ahead, and Miles Hartung stripped, no call. Miles Hartung still hitting hard as he lays a hit, and there's the penalty. Miles Hartung letting a little bit of rage roll over from that missed tripping call, and he lays out a Florida Gator, trying to see who that is right now. But nevertheless, the Hurricanes will head on the penalty kill with 15:48 left to go, down 3.
Yeah, so Jacobson Tarlis was on that wall battle with Miles Hartung into the corner, and Hartung, he has some good in his game, which is, joining the rush, being able to provide offensively, using the big frame on defense. But for a roughing penalty for Miles Hartung is not something unfamiliar to this D3 side. Yes, he likes to go body to body, but there is a point where he can only go so far, and Hartung likes to press that limit quite a bit. And it was enough for him to sit for 2 and for the first power play of the game going to the Gators.
15:33 left to go in the second period. Florida with Duncan now. Duncan pulls on the brakes. He's got Gupta on him. Up at the point now. There's a quick shot. Goes just high off the net here at Kendall Ice Arena.
You mentioned this a lot during the D2 game, was getting the stick in the lane and trying to just, you don't have to tip it, but at least create disruption to just by a hair change the trajectory of the shot, whether if it's on the release by the shooter or whether it's the angle at which the release comes on. It really messes up the shooter. Just, you don't have to get contact, but at least the threat of you being in front causes a hesitation by the attacker.
It throws off the shot 1,000%, and it's very important to do when you're playing defense, especially at this level, as Florida comes in with a ton of speed. They go back and forth, low behind the net now, behind Jamie Brooks.
There you go, behind the net again.
Renton right behind the net. He finds help. He's able to find the puck once again. He's got Noss on him. Florida, steady pressure. Duncan looking to threat. Good stick there by Jamie Brooks to deflect it. And Noss able to pick it up and just barely clear it with the help of John Joyce all the way down there for Stenzel.
And that bit the D2 team quite a bit. They struggled with the short-handed clearances. They got stymied at the blue line quite a bit, but D3 has had a good job clearing it so far in the PK.
Good stick there by Michelini, one of the guys that's played for both teams today, as that one goes down the ice. Nos over on Duncan for the Gators, as there's 22 seconds left to go in the man advantage for Florida. Just over 14 minutes left to go in this second period. Here come the Gators with a ton of speed. He's looking for a pass. Riley couldn't find the puck on his stick, and it swung all the way down the ice.
Way to kill a penalty.
13:45 left to go in the second period. Good job to kill the penalty there, as Miami able to pick it up at neutral ice. Jonathan Noss unable to get it in. Berman tries to swift it in, but it's picked up by Temper. Temper up ahead to Jing. And Sheriff Burek will chip it up ahead for the Canes, but it's taken away there by Florida. 3-0 your score here in the second period. Temper tries to get it across. He's got another Gator over there, and that goes just wide. Can Miami get it out of the zone? There's a point try. It's saved there by Jamie Brooks and shot out by Berman. Shot all the way down there for an icing, though.
There's a duality on the defensive side of the ice for University of Miami. Yes, you want to commit more numbers back there. There were opportunities where you've seen 3 guys, sometimes 4 guys, trying to cluster up the slot because that's where they've been beat. But when they try to reverse up ice, they have no one out there or no one to support. So then you have an attacker 1v2. So it's really the worst of both worlds. You're committing more to defense, but got no one to join the rush, and they've had some blown opportunities because of it.
And Zaldi unable to pickpocket it there as Junga forces that one offside. Great job by Rory Dawson to get that one out. It's at the red line now for Florida, and Rory Dawson able to pick it up. He's got Roach on him, though. 4 Gators to 1 Miami Hurricane, and it's swifted away there by Florida. Wang now. He tries to backhand it. It goes below the net into Miles Hartung. Skinger hard on the pressure. Junga's able to find it for the Gators. He goes down and dumps it low. Jamie Brooks comes out of the net. Miles Hartung whiffs on it. And Florida's able to keep it in the zone. Just under 12 minutes left to go in this second period.
Anzaldi dropped his stick. It's stuck in the crease of Brooks.
Skinger trying to stick it forward. And Florida's able to keep it in. 2-on-1. A quick try. And it's saved there by Jamie Brooks. And some extracurriculars after the play might get the Hurricanes in trouble. Miles Hartung.
Always in the middle of it, but something that I think was underrated was Anzaldi broke his stick defensively, and he essentially did a bear hug in a way against his defender. That was Xavier Morris, the UF captain, a 3-year player who has been able to accumulate quite a number of points in CHS, 30 of them across 3 seasons. And without a stick, doing it with just hands and not allowing the opportunity to cross. While that was nice defensively, you have the extracurriculars at the end of the whistle biting Miami once again. Hartung's already back.
Those are those effort plays that kind of keep you in the game we talk about all the time. And not giving up on the play, especially when you lose your stick. UF basically playing this like a power play here. Actually, it is a power play. Right in front for Duncan. Backhand attempt. It's just wide. And Michelini's able to clear it out. Not for long, though, as it's kept in there by the Gators. Right in the low circle now. Right on. Right off the face of Jamie Brooks. Florida keeping the steady pressure. Jack Temper. Over to Duncan. Down low, right in front. And how did that stay out? How did that puck stay out? Goodness. Great opportunity, and Leahy's able to go in with the Gators. Leahy down low on Noss. Noss able to battle off. Can he clear it out? He does. Great clear there by Noss. Great defensive check there by Noss as well. Just under a minute to go left in this power play for the Gators. Bartlett now trying to get something going, but a good stick there by Michelini. Michelini get it right off the blue line, but it's taken once again by Bartlett going into the blue line, but it's intercepted there by Siegerman. Michelini battles for it in the corner, and he's able to win it. He chips it ahead for Siegerman, and it's sent all the way down the ice. No icing because of the man advantage. 30 seconds left to go. 10-12 left to go in the second period.
I am so glad that Siegerman on that second try cleared it. He went backwards towards Michelini, and you just scream, no, why did you do that? But then on the second try, he gets it on a stick and sends it down on the PK. That's the way to go.
Under 10 to go, 10 seconds left in this man advantage. Florida trying to get one last just effort. Shot right on, saved by Jamie Brooks. One Gator loses his edge, and Michelini's able to pick it up. It's tipped right out for John Joyce, who's fresh off a change. Skinger right on. It's saved there by Stenzel. Hey, that's what I wanted to see, though. Right out of the penalty kill, they're able to prevent or cause an offensive opportunity right out of the box.
And especially against a playoff team right now, like the Florida Gators, offensive opportunities are not going to come in spades. It's not going to be, a team like Florida Southern, who had the third most goals allowed in College Hockey South D2. Florida, they actually allow amongst the bottom of the CHS in terms of goals allowed. So getting any goals on them would be hard enough.
That one deflected off a high stick as Florida looks to recuperate in their zone. It's shot back down, and Zaldi and Hartung will go after it. Hartung with no direction with that pass. Turns it over for Morris. Morris unable to find it, the UF captain. And it's sprung ahead for John Joyce off the stick of Skinger. Miles Hartung able to recover it. And that one's sent all the way down there. Arm up, that means an icing. Just under 9 to go here in the second period.
Yeah, that was back to that point I made earlier about the execution errors of if that one was able to hit Joyce or at least bank off the wall at a different angle where it's in Joyce's reach, that is definitely manageable. And even though these guys have been together all season long, at the end of the day, that's two first-season players in Miles Hartung and John Joyce. So just the overall lack of familiarity at this level has already made things difficult.
Florida with an opportunity right in front. On the backhand, once again, and great job by Miles Hartung to stick it away. That was Morris trying to get it on the backhand. He was helped with King as well, and it's sent all the way down. Junga goes in the corner for the Gators. He gets it up to Morris. And Zaldi tries to stick it ahead, and it's sticked away. John Joyce able to chip it ahead for Berman. There's a battle, and he's outside. Berman takes a quick save. A little cheap shot afterwards as there's 8:20 left to go in the second period.
UF is an opponent that Miami never faced last year. Only because last year UF, they pretty much used their D2 squad as the predominant team. That D2 squad is now a D1 team. This D3 side of things for Miami is familiar, even though the D3 team that won the Nationals last year went up to D2. But just familiarity at this level really provided that spark against Florida Southern. But because UF and Miami are more or less strangers, there's a lot of surprises between these two.
Roy Dawson unable to corral that one, so the Gators will pick it up. Jonathan Doss able to win that puck battle behind the net. He tries to spring it forward to Michelini. Michelini dumps it back down low. But it looks like Renton's going to pick it up for the Gators. He shoots it all the way down the ice, arm up once again for an icing. Looks like Florida was just having trouble getting out of the zone with a little bit of threat there from Jonathan Doss.
Yeah, once you start bringing in chaos, especially the closer and closer you get towards the net, that's just a matter of how can you manage the mischief right there. Florida was eventually able to do so, but not quite because it was icing. With a longer shift, maybe it's a chance for Miami to take advantage.
Gupta loses that one back to the
back.
Gators. Zamelski in the corner. Up to Duncan at the low circle. He's looking for some help. He hits Barlett. Barlett springs it right back down. Florida with heavy pressure. Good stick there by Michelini. Duncan able to pick it up, though, back at the blue line. Back down low to Barlett. Hard hit there by Michael Noss. Right in front. And a great save there by Jamie Brooks. And a little bit extracurriculars once again. But both Florida... Whoa. I thought they were just going to get up and be nice, but I believe that was Zelmensky that grabbed the shirt of a Miami Hurricane. But no harm, no done.
So that sequence by Miami was very interesting defensively, in large part because they're committing numbers to the low slot especially. You had the opportunity in front, you had a Gator there, but he's all stuck there because you have a Miami Hurricane committing stick on stick.
And it looks like they're going to get Zelmensky for the penalty there. Hey, I mean, that's one thing for Miami that you can now take advantage of after they will take advantage from some of the extracurriculars that Florida was partaking in.
Yeah, especially when you start grabbing the shirt, that's something that you can't really do at this level whatsoever. It doesn't matter if it's CHS, AAU, or even the NCAA. The second you start grabbing shirts, that's going to cause issues, which is why you have a guy in Zarek Zemansky who is not only serving a 2, but he'll serve a 10 as well. So someone will come out once that 2 expires.
And Miami unable to really get a clean clear of it as that one gets shot way over and put into the bench.
This should go back into the Florida end because a clearance into the bench on the penalty kill is treated the exact same as an icing. That went straight into the UF bench. It's going to go back. Florida won't be allowed to change. And, you know, they accidentally had a 5th man on accident because they tried to sneak in a change, but they're hemmed in.
Good win there by Jonathan Noss up to Miles Hartung. The senior down low to Noss right in front. Off a couple of sticks, and Barlett's able to clear it out for the Gators, but not for long as Michelini with the good glove to keep it in. Little shot way out as Skinger's able to keep it in. Noss unable to keep it on his stick, but it's kept in there by Skinger. He gets pickpocketed. Miles Hartung able to get it, but it's taken out by the Gators. Gators with a 3-on-1, but an excellent stick there by Michelini. Skinger with time and space. He takes a shot, and one goes just off the pad. And there's another quick feed right on, and it's saved by Stenzel. That was a great job by Skinger and Noss to kind of get some offensive opportunities for the Canes.
They don't get any of those offensive opportunities if you don't have Michelini and Hartung committing hard to the blue line. That's the only reason why Miami is getting those opportunities in the first place, because you got 66 and 68 big bodies up top. They're keeping these pucks in the zone. Glove here, stick there. They don't look like much, but for a 2-minute power play, it'll add up.
Gupta in the corner now. He dumps low to Berman behind the net. He finds it for Siegerman. They go back and forth. Miles Hartung picks it up at the blue line. Back down low for Siegerman. Hard hit in the boards. Got to be careful. No boarding. Miles Hartung is able to pick it up. Quick feed right in front. Deflection, and it's saved there by David Stenzel. Man, that was that little misdirection that makes the difference between goals and saves right there.
Especially because you had 2 guys from University of Miami that were right in Stenzel's face trying to get something going. You saw that little touch-up by Berman in front. It wasn't enough to change directions a touch. But as long as traffic continues to stay in the net, those slot shots worked wonders in the D2 game. They just haven't translated so far in D3.
Miles Hartung tries to find it inside. Gets pickpocketed by a couple of Gators. Berman able to find it in the corner. They want it inside. Gupta wanted it, but it's sprung free. Hard pressure here from Jang. Now Michelini pulls on the brakes and tries to hit Berman. Berman with the quick feed, and he just shoots it down. As Florida tries to make a change, that penalty expires. Just over 5 minutes to go left in the second period. Michelini making a good move. The captain asserting his dominance here at neutral ice. He finds its way all the way in, but it's taken away by Florida. Berman unable to keep it in. He's able to find Dawson. at neutral ice. Quick one right ahead for Temper. He got a strong hit there by Michael Noss.
Yeah, he straight up lost an edge there. He just lost the clip, lost the blade. You're going to slide every time.
Junga behind the net now for the Gators. He's got Noss and Siegerman on him. He springs it ahead for Wang. Wang dunks it low. He's got Morris with him and Noss. Sharaburek chips it forward, and he's able to backhand it out of the zone. Morgan down low, gets intercepted there by Skinger. Skinger, he's racing forward in the corner. He loses it, and it's on Wang's stick now. Wang gets battled off the puck for Junga. They go back and forth as it's forced out of the zone. Michael Noss tries to keep it in, but the effort's no good. 3:45 left to go in the second period. 3-0 your score, Florida. Quick shot wide there by Junga. Jonathan Noss now gets past the blue line, now the red line, now the opposing blue line. He's got space. He tries to get past a couple of Gators. Miami got to be careful in the midst of a change. That was a good smart play there by Gupta to not jump off and head on ice.
I think the wrong official would have marked that, but these guys are going to let some things fly. A couple things have flown so far in this game, and Miami's gracious to not be shorthanded there.
Yeah, we notice at this level they're a little bit more lenient with the changes, as there's going to be a delayed penalty as Frankie Anzaldi is going to head to the box.
Yeah, chasing after Bartlett at the end of all that, and you know, for a guy like Anzaldi, another first-year player, and maybe it's some of the lack of experience starting to creep its head right now with Miami. Some of the little mistakes, whether it be, you know, overcommitting after the whistle, maybe you make contact, but you go one step too far. Maybe it's behind the back or it's to the head. And for Florida, they got to make the most of this because this is a UM squad who has not only struggled on the penalty kill, but Florida, they struggle on their power play. 12 goals on the power play. That's the fourth fewest in CHSD3. And it'll be interference to call against Anzaldi.
Bartlett gets it. He fakes the pass to Duncan. He gets it down to the low circle. Good move there. Florida keeping steady possession here. 2:44 left to go. Right in front, Bartlett tries to get a shot right on. It's off the side of the net. Once again, the Gators with heavy possession. Up top for Duncan to the point. Up to Bartlett. Across, and it's not able to find Renton. Good poke check there by Miles Hartung, but the Gators are able to keep it. Right in front they go, and a good save there by Jamie Brooks. 2:17 left to go, 1:15 left to go in the man advantage for Florida.
With Miami, they've really, especially with 38 minutes more or less knocked off of this period so far, knocked off of this game so far, coming off of a 20-goal weekend against UNF versus, so far shut down by this UF squad. It's really going to hurt this Miami D3 squad, especially if they want to keep their playoff hopes alive.
Turnover right there, and Miami's able to pick it up. Great job by Michael Noss to shoot it all the way down the ice, and it's sticked aside by Stenzel.
That's their first clearance of the penalty kill, and we're already a minute 5 deep into it. It's something they got to get to more because Brooks cannot keep taking these pucks. He's already let 3 in, and if more come to him, then more goals will follow.
Duncan goes low circle. He finds Bartlett. Back down to Duncan. Circle now, and a great job there by Berman. Kind of incidentally hit his skate, and it caused the puck to be cleared. Just 30 seconds left to go in the power play.
I don't know. Berman definitely poked his foot out, but regardless, it does come back to center, and Berman's going to do so again. Oh, not quite.
Leahy around the low circle. He tries to find Renton. It's right in front. Great save there by Jamie Brooks. Wow, what a great opportunity there. Leahy right on. And Florida able to keep it in still. Renton, 3, 2, 1. The penalty expires right in front for Duncan. It goes just off the stick of a couple of Hurricanes. It's kept in by the Gators. At the point, Renton, quick shot. Great pad save there. Blocker save there by Jamie Brooks. right on, no one home there for the Gators as they're making a change. Quick shot right on, goes just wide. Leahy down low. Up top to the point at the blue line. That one goes over the head of Jamie Brooks and behind the net. They're still cycling. There's a quick right shot. It's blocked off in front of a couple of Hurricanes. There's a spring ahead pass for Jonathan Noss. Jonathan Noss right on in, and a tremendous save. It has back in the net. It's in the back of the net. Jonathan Noss nets that one, his 11th of the year. And the Canes cut the lead to 2.
Nas
There's
was
a quick
excellent
right
last
shot.
weekend
It's blocked
against
off in front
UNF. He was the
of a
first
couple
star of the week in
Hurricanes. There's a
CHS
spring ahead pass for Jonathan Noss.
He shows
Jonathan
why
Noss
he's
right
been
on
able to
in,
do so.
and a
A short
tremendous save. It
hand
has back in the net.
A 5-on-5
It's in the back of the net.
opportunity right after the penalty expires, is able to break loose on the rush that puts Jonathan Nas his team lead 13th goal of the season, and that puts him at a 5-game point streak.
He's been one of the easily the most key contributor for this Miami Hurricanes squad, as that's a feel-good moment to end this second period for Miami. They let in 2 goals, but they got one back, so they will head into this intermission break down 2 here. Now, Ryan, what did you like out of that period from the Hurricanes, and what would you like to see get better?
From Miami's side, from Miami's point of view, it's really just, while they have had some success in defending UF, there's really no rush opportunities. You didn't see a 2-on-1 or 3-on-2 or anything like that coming from the Gators whatsoever. I don't think I saw a single rush in that period, maybe a small handful of them during the whole game, and those were all back in the first. That's the one positive, but 2 things are kind of in the same hat. One of them is that if you're going to commit to something, there's 2 philosophies on defense. Do you commit to the puck, or do you commit to the body? They're committing right now to the body. They're not committing enough to the puck, trying to get the, like you saw, Asher Bergman, he got a foot in a passing lane. We've seen some sticks get blocked enough to disrupt the shot. But they're committing body to body, and that's why they're getting some of those extra penalties. We saw some roughing, some interferences. If they commit more to defending the puck rather than defending the man, not only are you going to have opportunities for turnovers, but also reduced opportunities for penalties, which have hurt Miami despite not conceding a power play goal. Just the opportunities will wear down the defense. It'll wear down Jamie Brooks in the long run, and especially on the first half of a back-to-back after a 10-20 puck drop, as currently 11:40 Eastern. The fatigue factor, maybe not necessarily for the other 5 on the ice, but at least for the guy in between the pipes, that will add up, especially with a game 2 tomorrow.
Absolutely. The Canes still down by 2, but with that, that'll do it for that second period. But we'd like to thank our sponsors of this program, Wells Fargo Advisors. For all your financial needs, head to Wells Fargo Advisors. Thank you so much for supporting. And if you'd like to support the University of Miami Hurricanes, feel free to scan this QR code on the screen. Anything helps at all, from the broadcast equipment here in the studio to the actual players themselves. Anything helps at all.
And don't forget, even on social media, follow our pages on Instagram, on Twitter, University of Miami Men's Hockey, and even right here on YouTube. Like, comment, and subscribe. Every bit of support goes a long way. 2 periods in the books. Gators 3, Hurricanes 1. More from Kendall Ice Arena when we come back. back here at Kendall Ice Arena for our continuing coverage of senior night here at Kendall Ice Arena, where the University of Miami hockey team is currently down 3-1 against the University of Florida Gators. And a lot of that has come because the Gators got out to a 3-0 lead early in the second period. They got 2 goals in only a matter of a minute 23 in the seconds. It was enough to spring them forward up 3-0. The good news for Miami, this D3 side at least, is the teams that were chasing them are USF and Embry-Riddle. Embry-Riddle, they are down big on FAU. 15-1, the Owls lead the Embry-Riddle Eagles. And USF, they don't play another College Hockey South opponent for the rest of the season. The CHS portion of the Bulls season has concluded. So they really can't move any further up on the standings. And really, it's just about what
Embry-Riddle does, right?
About what Embry-Riddle does. Thank you. And with Embry-Riddle down big, if Miami can just keep pace, for lack of a better term, or at least those two sides, the Eagles and the Canes, keeping pace with each other, there's still a chance that even with a pair of losses, Miami can slip into the CHS D3 playoffs just down the turnpike up north in Coral Springs. Period 3.
Hey, but they've got 20 minutes to decide that right now, based off starting off with a fresh sheet of dry ice here at Kendall Ice Arena. We got Dylan Segerman in the corner now. He's battling there with Skinger. Skinger down low. He's up. He gets pickpocketed there. It stays out. And Michelini's able to pick it up in the defensive zone for the Hurricanes. He pulls on the brakes. He's got a Gator draped on him. He shoots it up the ice. He's looking for John Joyce. John Joyce unable to put a stick on it. Set down for an icing. He's unable to beat it out.
Although it didn't last long, since we're only 41 seconds into this third period, one thing that did draw my attention in the early part of that third was the ability to recollect pucks in the offensive zone. There were a couple opportunities where maybe the pass wasn't there or it just barely skimmed outside the offensive zone. They're able to get back in quickly and reset on the offensive zone attack.
Florida to keep it in with Renton. Renton down low for Barlett. Barlett right in front. There's a shot. Lehigh that goes just high. Barlett now. Back down for Leahy. Leahy. He goes back into the point for Renton. Renton over to Duncan. High circle. Big quick shot glove there by Jamie Brooks.
I want to take a quick look at this play by Jamie Brooks because he has been stellar in net so far in this afternoon, despite letting in 3 goals. That cycle behind the net, that's what Florida's been looking for. That feed in front was able to get the release from Hugh Leahy, looking for goal number 2. But I mentioned this all the way back in the early portion of the second period. Florida's going to try to work behind the net into the corners below the goal line, and it's helped them get at least 2 of their 3 goals so far. They almost had another one.
Quick shot out right on. It's sticked aside there by Anzaldi. Gators right on. And a glove there, save by Jamie Brooks. Man, that was a little one of those plays where a little misdirection with the puck. Came off for a couple of bodies and sticks, and all of a sudden it's right on the glove of Jamie Brooks.
Yeah, true, but however, if Owen Gupta does not go down on a knee to disrupt that shot, he had 3 guys wide open at the top of the offensive zone.
Riley tries to shoot that one down. Icing wave Duff. Gupta with the spinorama try. It's whiffed on, and Florida's able to pick it up. One shipped ahead by Morton, and Michael Noss will chase. 18-15 left to go in regulation. 3-1 your score here in the third period. Battle by the Hurricanes bench. Jonathan Noss brings it free. And Zaldi gets pickpocketed there. Right in front for the Gators. It's sticked aside. Gupta tries to get to Jonathan Noss, but it's disrupted there by Morton. Henry Skinger around the boards now for Gupta. They've got time, but they don't use it well as Temper's able to pick it up and send it back down for Jang. Jang, He's got temper, low circle. He goes behind the net, and it goes off a couple of Hurricane sticks and gets shot back down, disrupted there by Shara Burek. Shipped free there by Jonathan Noss past the blue line, and it gets sent back in. Brenton makes a great move, right on in. Great save there by Jamie Brooks. That one gets shot all the way back down there for Stencil. Jugna behind the net now for the Gators. Jang gets it ahead for Rosenthal. That one's down. Icing waved off. Jamie Brooks will play it. Miles Hartung now with 16:55 left to go will spring it forward. Rory Dawson able to get it past the blue line and down the ice. Jugna for the Gators. Skinger able to pick it up. The freshman from Kentucky can't quite get it, but the Gators are able to pick it up. It pinballs against a couple of Gators and gets sent back down. Sprung ahead now, kept in by the blue line by Skinger. Renton goes off the glass and springs it behind the net. 16:13 left to go in regulation. In the corner now, Miles Hartung, the senior tonight, getting honored earlier in the presentation from senior night. Down the ice now, behind the net. Picked up there by Riley for the Gators. Behind the net now, he looks to get around a couple of Hurricanes. He's able to find Morris. Morris with Roach on the left. He goes, and it gets patted away there by the goaltender for the Hurricanes. Referee takes a wipeout behind the play. John Joyce able to pick it up. Duncan, one-on-one. He tries to make a move. Going backhand, it's just wide. Duncan picks it up. Goes past the blue line there, and it's at neutral ice. Duncan picks it up. He's got Roach with him. 2 Hurricanes on him. Duncan gets hit off the puck, but he keeps it. Threatening Jamie Brooks. Centering feed. Disrupted by the Hurricanes. Tries to get chipped ahead there by Jonathan Doss, kept in by Riley. Riley right inside for Roach. Roach loses that puck in the low slot. Picked it but once again in the corner. Right on, just wide. Jonathan Doss able to chip it ahead for Gupta. Gupta got time and space. He goes backhands. It's off the side of the post. And a good save there by Stencil. Duncan now flips it ahead, and the Gators are able to dump it in. And Zaldi now, he's got some help as it's dumped back down low behind the net. Right in front for the Gators is there's Barlett, excuse me. Let's take a look at this replay. Head, and the Gators able to
Despite
dump
Miami
it in.
struggling to get
now,
these pucks out of their zone, one thing they have been able to
some
do
help is
at
it's
least
back
figure
down low
out
behind the
when
net. Right in
you
front
have
for
the opportunities coming.
the Gators.
You saw the man
Barlett
in front with the Brooks save, but they've been able to turn those opportunities into odd man rushes, something they were unable to do in the first or second. They've been able to generate at least a few here in the third.
Skinger unable to clear it ahead as it's sent back down for the Gators. Right down low as Rory Dawson able to pick it up off the turnover. Can Miami get some kind of offensive thing going? No. Leahy now at neutral ice. Pulls on the brakes. Leahy gets around the defender, and it's blocked aside there by Jamie Brooks. At the point now, quick shot goes just wide. Leahy behind the net with Miles Hartung. Miles Hartung elects to just shoot it down the ice. The puck, you notice, dying down a lot because of how dry the surface is here at Kendall Ice Arena.
Yeah, we've had ice condition issues for years here at Kendall. That doesn't really stop here today either, as you have a man who not only went down, but also with the glove off.
They're going to call a hand pass there on, I believe that was Miami. Oh, wait. The glove off plus the hand pass, so.
I don't know if it technically counts as a glove pass if the glove was a foot away from your hands, but nonetheless, it'll be back in the Miami end.
Skinger loses that draw. It's at the point, and it's intercepted there by Skinger. Skinger's got Dawson and Siegerman. He's way offside, though, as Dawson gets caught.
And that is just nothing more than a bad discipline play for Rory Dawson. If that one stays onside, that's a potential 3-on-2 into the zone. You can create pressure with numbers in front of, despite an experienced goaltender in Stenzel, just getting bodies in front, having the numbers and the advantage on a potential opportunity on the rush nonetheless, but thwarted by about 6 inches offside.
Was shot all the way down there by Michelini, patted away there by Stenzel. Gupta on the corner. Berman's able to find it on his stick. He gets collided with a couple of black jerseys, and it's kept in there with the hand help of Anzaldi. Anzaldi with a quick try. It's patted away there. Right in front, Jonathan Nuss deflected in front. Berman back to the point for Anzaldi. Anzaldi with the point try. It's blocked. And a hand goes up in the air as they're going to get, are they going to get Anzaldi?
Penalty.
What are they going to get him here for? High stick?
Okay, so this is exactly what I thought it was. So Anzaldi tries to take a shot from the point, it gets blocked, and then the UF player starts going the opposite direction. But instead of continuing to churn the legs and try to maybe play a little catch-up, what he does instead is he tries to tie up the stick of the defender. In doing so, he got a little bit high, made some contact. I wasn't sure if that was going to fly as a penalty, but clearly they made note of it.
You don't really see that called at this level, but nevertheless, it's called here today. Just maybe not called as much as Miles Hartung, one of the great penalty killers for this Hurricane squad, shoots it down the ice.
Florida 1 for 4 on the day so far. Their 12 power play goals into the season, into the afternoon, is the 4th fewest in the division. So there's a chance if Miami just stays structured, they'll survive. But that's a big if.
Riley keeps it at neutral ice. He finds him once again on his stick, entering at the blue line. He's got Hartung on him. Hartung using his tall frame to try to defend well. Down low is Roach. Barlett over to Riley. Barlett over to the opposing corner. He facilitates. Quick shot right on, goes just wide. Goes high off the glass. Gators able to keep steady possession. Lehigh from the slot now, and it's hit off the roof here at Kendall Ice Arena.
The most interesting part about this Florida power play is the structure, because they're not going with the traditional umbrella formation or maybe, just anything that usually involves the slot. Normally you'll see 2 guys on the wing, maybe a guy in the point, and 2 guys in the slot. But what they're doing instead is they're doing 2 wide, 2 high, and 1 behind the net, trying to get the feed from Brooks' blind side to set something up. And hasn't worked thus far, but it was just something to make note of how they're going to try to go behind Brooks' back to create.
You talked about it earlier about how they love to use the back of the net. It's definitely a monumental part of their offense is they keep it going here on the offensive. Jang hard on the boards with Skinger. Jugna from the point, sent down low in the corner. Hard hit in the boards there by Michael Noss. He might be hurting his head a little bit there. Hard shot right on, and it's covered up there by the glove of Jamie Brooks.
No one's more thankful to have that whistle than Michael Noss after taking that ugly hit on the board. Nothing really to it, just coincidental contact, 2 guys tangling. They maybe get some legs knotted up, and that causes a spill right into the boards. And I'm sure he, more than anyone, is thrilled to be on the bench right now.
That one shot down the ice as he gets checked out by the medical staff on the bench. That one whiffed on there by the Gators, but it's picked up once again.
We're back to even.
Morton now with speed. He makes a good move. Skinger now. He's got Noss at neutral ice. 2-on-2 opportunity. Breaks his stick. That's one of those moments you don't want to break your stick as Jang is able to come with offensive pressure. He goes low circle. Goes around the net now. Right in front. And it's behind the net once again. Stayed behind the net. Michelini tries to pressure. Florida behind the net. Jang. over to Berman. Berman springs it forward. A little bit too strong as it's sent down there for an icing.
And for those changes are really going to be paramount going forward because they're only going to be stuck in their own end. You can't really gain any sort of possession or really any sort of high danger opportunity if you're stuck back in your own end, which is what Miami's done with a lot in this third period. More attempts off of the rush, struggles trying to maintain any serious possession in the offensive zone. And kind of the accumulation of everything is a large portion of why is stuck at only 1 goal so far in the third period of play. But it's not out of reach. It is a 2-goal game. As this one sent back to center. Owen Gupta in deep. An awkward save there by Stenzel, but made it nonetheless. And a chance to reverse, but it's Hartung. As we just crossed the halfway mark of the third period of play. 3 for the Florida Gators Hurricanes. A chance for Berman, stripped from behind as it's taken away by Kelly Bartlett. Morris on the pivot. Has a man free. Tries to make something work. Wraparound attempt, can't go. Options, elects for Duncan at the point, lets it go. Stopped by the barricades in front. Back behind the net where it's Reed Roach working in as that is a wide angle try. Brooks will hang on and the Florida Gators continue to attempt cooking, especially with some of the struggles they've had on the road. 4 in 6 on their 10 games away from Gainesville. And for Miami, just trying to salvage what they can, considering who is not only behind them but potentially chasing. It's really a 2-team race for that final slot in the D3 playoffs, and now a chance. Dylan Siegerman all alone. Siegerman stopped by Stenzel. Even though the puck was loose, they whistle it down, but a great opportunity for Siegerman to at least get some pressure on Stenzel, his first big save of the period.
Siegerman tried to go 5-hole there on Stenzel, and he was able to get a free pass, one-on-one, exactly what he wanted, just elected to go 5-hole, and Stenzel had nothing to do with it.
A goal and 4 points for Dylan Siegerman in the 2 games versus North Florida. Allows the offensive zone draw as Siegerman keeps it in deep. Attempting a rack around is Aiden Riley, but cannot quite get it free with Siegerman pressuring. Collision along the boards. Michelini off balance. Finds it again so he can slap it deep, but only Riley there. Florida can't get past Michael Nas. Good to see him back up after that scary collision into the wall as it's sent all the way up and still in UF possession. A chance to ender by Zilmansky. Tries to work around Michelini. Cut off by Nas. Can't connect with Siegerman. And makes its way back towards the red line as Riley re-enters with Michelini in his face. Michelini having skate issues as it's poked away by Siegerman. Sent up. Jonathan Nas with a touch. Junga. Up for Leahy. A goal already. Looking for 2, but it's Jamie Brooks instead.
Great job by Florida there. They've run their offense really well this game, but hey, Jamie Brooks has done an even better job in net, though, really containing this offense. They've been trying to facilitate around the net. We've seen it a lot. They like to facilitate that with their offense, but Jamie Brooks standing strong between the pipes.
Brooks has 6 starts in the D2 with the D2 squad this season so far, including last season when the D3 side was the D2 side pre-promotion. Plenty of experience there as he has to hold on once more after release from Leahy. And for Brooks, having this type of experience at the D3 level can most certainly help, especially with Miami currently holding the final playoff position in CHS D3. Embry-Riddle, the lone team, able to catch up. They lost to the FAU Owls 15-1. At least the last time we checked.
Maybe it's 30 now.
Maybe we don't need to check anymore. A chance for Florida. They want to continue, and Brooks holds on again. And we saw some shoving, but nothing more as Leahy elects to go to the bench.
Hey, let's talk about a little bit about the playoff picture there. That FAU team for the Division III level is going to be really scary coming the playoffs, man. They have a real shot of winning not only the CHS tournament, but also the AAU tournament as well, just like these Hurricanes did just a year ago.
The only other team that's in contention is USF. However, they finished their CHS portion of the season, so they can't accumulate any more points. So USF, they're kind of stuck with no way in, and Embry-Riddle blown out. That 15-1 margin, by the way, was a final. Out of reach, John Joyce, but he should be the first one there to negate icing. It will be. Dylan Morton to spin it. Bartlett tries an outlet. Leahy at center, back and forth with Bartlett as they enter with Florida going on the change. Brooks taps it aside after it goes off the side of the net. Renton, backhands. Only one is Anzaldi. Tries for Siegerman, down the length for icing. And I think Francesco Anzaldi's body language, the couple of stip taps and the head up to the sky is kind of the embodiment of what Miami's dealt with this game so far.
Yeah, they dealt with a team that's really strong offensively, and they just haven't really been able to match it, but they have a really strong goaltender right behind them. They just need more offensive opportunities. They haven't been able to make it happen.
In front is that one shot high and wide. Duncan with the release. Florida tries to make something work. They're thwarted by Skinger. Still behind the net. Skinger chasing once more. This time it's Shane Rosenthal. Siegerman into the bench. This will be back in the UM zone. And UM most likely won't be able to change because a dump in, so they will allow the change.
Get some fresh bodies on the ice. That's always good, especially when you have Jonathan Noss, one of those players on the offense that can really make something happen.
Speaking of, splits the D. Jonathan Noss, only one man to beat as he couldn't get past Stenzel or Duncan. In front, wanted Berman. Michelini to step in, but he elects to come back for the defense instead as Zhang tries to spring something loose. Jin Wenjiang already a goal and an assist today. Offensive threat for the Gators as they continue to push behind the nets. 5 minutes to go in the third period, where it's 3-1 in favor of Florida. Behind the back of Jonathan Nas, he lets it go, allows reinforcements. Nas on the release, Stenzel the save, no chance for Berman. Stepping in is Hartung, just enough to keep it onside. However, only black jerseys in the region, so Miami will come back, preparing for the defense. Reed Roach, first year from Maryland, can't get past Anzaldi. A chance for Tepper, and that definitely hit the ceiling for sure.
As Jonathan Noss goes to make a change, you see that whole shift why you put him back on the ice. He's just such a productive guy. 13 goals on the year. The sophomore from Pitcock, Massachusetts. Really making an effort this year. Really stepping up his game.
And with Florida, they know how to turn wins into multiple. As that drive towards the net was held off by Brooks as it's a quick stick handle. Potential wraparound try. Brooks up to the task. Roach can't get a touch. Joyce tries to get it out, but eventually the support does with Siegerman and Skinger. Out of reach for Dawson. Morris and Hartung into the corner. 4 remains in the third. In front, can't hit Roach. Back to the point it goes for Mistro. Mistro around. Jonathan Wang can't get it free. It's stuck in that corner. Roach. He got checked. Second try hits the outside of the frame, and it's Morris. captained by Riley. Around Michael Nas and Jonathan Wang. Wang lays down Nas, and eventually Miami gets it out all the way down. It'll lose traction just before icing. But Dawson was able to get the touch, so this one will not be icing against the Gators with under 3.5 in regulation. Shara with Michelini. Dawson's got Skinger and Nas. Played all the way back in the Miami end with Michelini. Miami has struggled if they can't get the volume of goals, as throughout the season when they score fewer than 3 goals, they have not won on any of the 11 games they've done so. Goals are not only at a premium, but maybe coming towards desperation time as Brook comes to the bench and Dawson the spare man out. Shara Buriak. Empty net for Miami. Down by 2. Spin it around. Centarlis pops up in the air. It's chopped down by the Gators. Sent down by Miami. No icing. Bank it off for Centarlis. Tries to go for Zelmansky. All the way down. Hartung. Angle not right for icing with 2:20. Gupta for Nas. Nas has Jungle draped all over him. Siegerman to help. Michelini gives it a go from range. Misses the target, but Hartung steps in on Junga. Puck out of the zone. Berman's there. 2 minutes to go. 2 goals down for Miami on the Gators.
Miami's really got to get something set up here. That's not going to help them, though.
All 3 goals for Florida came before the 2-minute mark into the second period of play. And it's Ferentz, empty net, goes across, and tapped in. Kelly Bartlett leads the team with his 9th goal of the season, and Florida makes it 4-1.
Yeah, an easy textbook. Just put it in the net. It's wide open kind of play there for the Gators. Looks like they're going to walk away victors in this one. But good effort there from the Gators. I thought it was interesting the timing of the goalie pulling from Coach Tom Mello. He pulled them a little early while Miami was having trouble in their own zone.
And especially for Miami, the good news is Embry-Riddle, they lost their game earlier, so essentially they just have to keep pace with each other, Miami and Embry-Riddle, as the attempted breakaway for Jonathan Nas allows him the lone man in the offensive end. Nas attempted, poked up in front. Stenzel pokes it aside, still continuing. Side of the net, Gupta around. Joyce for Gupta. Gupta wants to spin it in front. Hartung shakes his man off with possession. Hartung from distance, poke up in front. Gupta with a swing, and eventually Stenzel will cover. And with Miami hanging on with 42 seconds remaining, the only scenario right now that would put Miami out of the playoff picture with the way that the points are is if Embry-Riddle can beat FAU tomorrow and if Florida beats Miami again tomorrow. But with a 15-1 final that Embry-Riddle had against FAU, that
have to be a pretty miraculous comeback there, especially against that talented squad. So Miami, I don't want to jinx, but should be in the playoff.
So you're saying there's a chance. Brooks easily steers it away with 25 seconds left to go, and another save there. And for Miami Hurricanes, there's a chance that they could be sending both the D2 and the D3 squads. And if only one of those teams makes it, it's just a question of who you send where. As this final touch towards center will just about do it. 3 seconds remain. 3-goal lead and the victory for the Florida Gators. And Florida will break 500, 8-7-1, while Miami go to double-digit losses, 4-10-3.
Hey, obviously not the game Miami wanted, but a great game overall for the Gators, I mean, they took care of business. They came into Kendall. They made the long haul from Gainesville, came down, took the win. Now Miami has got another game tomorrow, though, to look forward and hopefully compete for another day here at Kendall Ice Arena.
Another 2-game doubleheader tomorrow. Matinee matchups on the docks. Florida Southern, Division II, taking on the Miami Hurricanes, Division II. That's a 2 o'clock puck drop. And barring overtimes like we saw earlier this afternoon, these two sides in D3 will square off once more at 4:30 in the afternoon tomorrow. So a couple of afternoon games to conclude the regular season for not only CHS, but the University of Miami Hurricanes. Well, that'll pretty much do it in our entire crew here at Kendall Ice Arena in Kendall, Florida. We just want to thank you for following us the entire way through and our senior night coverage here on the University of Miami Hockey Network. We also want to thank the support of Wells Fargo Advisors. For your financial needs, go to Wells Fargo Advisors. And also continue supporting your Hurricanes. Scan the QR code on the screen to support your University of Miami men's hockey program. You can also feel free to follow us on all your favorite social media platforms, including on Instagram and on X. And feel free to like, comment, and subscribe here on YouTube as well. Every bit helps. Well, that'll do it for all of us here in our entire crew in Kendall, Florida. Matinee matchup tomorrow starting at 2 p.m. back here on the University of Miami Hockey Network. For our entire crew, Connor Stein, I'm Ryan Lee. Thank you. Have a great rest of your night.